Next, the fourth and final component of HR compliance is policies. A policy is a guideline that helps you set what standards are around expectations and behavior. And it's really, really clear from an employee and an employer perspective. Having policies in place ensures clarity on expectations. It also helps you handle employee relations very easily, and in turn, it'll help you mitigate risk and protect your company. With business owners we often see a few situations, around policies. Either they just don't have any policies in place, or they have policies, but they are very, very outdated and haven't been revisited. Keeping our HR house in order means being current and having policies that continue to be in alignment with legislation and changes in legislation and our changing businesses as well. Per legislation, there are mandatory policies that every business must have, regardless of industry, regardless of size. They include discrimination, bullying, and harassment, drug and alcohol, and health and safety. And we recommend that you start with these three. Best practice does call for a policy handbook. To be able to really hold our employees and ourselves accountable, we need to have expectations laid out in a clear manner and in an accessible location as well. We can't hold people accountable for something that they don't know they're accountable for. At Upskill Consulting, we really believe that we need to humanize that dreaded employee handbook. And believe me, we've truly seen it all. I've seen handbooks that are 100 pages long. I've seen handbooks that you can absolutely tell it's been a cut and paste from different policies. We can see handbooks that are not in alignment with the feel and the culture of the organization. So it's a mismatch. Having worked with organizations of all sizes and across industries, what we know for sure is that companies that showcase the true essence of who they are and who they aspire to be is where you're going to reap the rewards. You need to look beyond policies and really take an opportunity to create something bigger. We like to call it a playbook or a guide that maps out who you are, what you stand for. It's kind of what's our North Star, right? What do we expect ourselves and each other to do day in and day out? Include your vision, your mission, your core values, bring it to life. Incorporate a welcome letter that captures who you are and what you represent as a company. On the right-hand side of your screen here, you see a lot of policies that we like to include in our handbooks. This is not an exhaustive list, but a good place for you to start. Now, with policies, here are a few more items to keep in mind when drafting your policies. Approach compliance in a prudent manner. Start with the mandatory policies, those three that we talked about: discrimination, bullying, and harassment, drugs and alcohol, and health and safety. Next, design a handbook that acts as your playbook. It has to encapsulate who you are, what you stand for, your North Star of who you aspire to be as a company. Next, onboarding. So make sure that your new employees have a clear understanding of what these policies are. Provide the policies at the onset of the relationship. Obtain sign-offs from employees confirming that they have read, understood, and agree to comply to these policies. And we recommend that you actually get sign-offs once a year. If you make changes to policies, it's mandatory that you share those changes with your employees and again, obtain sign-off. Best practice is that you have people review the policy handbook every year and get them to sign off on it every single year. Again, have a paper trail. Keep signed copies of the policies and personnel files for future reference. And with discrimination, bullying, and harassment, again, this is a mandatory policy and training is also necessary annually. At Upskill Consulting, we provide a robust discrimination, bullying, and harassment training or respectful workplace training in alignment with provincial legislation. We also record the session for you as well, so you can then have that video accessible for your new hires on a go forward.